Hello, everybody, and welcome back to that Eurovision site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. I'm Shiloh, and today I'm here with Anyanya, who is competing in the final of Eurovizija.LT 2025. Hi.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Had a little bit of a busy day, but yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. So,
Nice.
my first question is just tell us a little bit about yourself. Your background as a singer and what your career has been like so far, things like that.
Okay. So a little backstory about myself. Originally from Nigeria, traveled to Ukraine 2009 to study medicine. I graduated from the medical school, went on to do my postgraduate as a surgeon and practice in the hospital for 2 years. But within this time frame, I was just singing at home, singing in the church choir, and but I decided to make my music career official 2018. And yeah, so after the war, unfortunately, I couldn't stay in Ukraine. So I was privileged to come to Lithuania. I was invited for the show The Voice Lithuania, and ended up winning the season 10 episode of the show, which was 2023. So yeah, so that's like in a nutshell, that's everything about me. And this year, I'm participating in the Eurovision for the first time in Lithuania.
Yeah. So, what made you decide to participate in Eurovizija.LT?
Well, I've always been a fan of Eurovision for many, many years, being part of the working with the artists in Ukraine from the national selection down to Europe. But I've always been skeptical about, participating as a solo singer. And last year, I unfortunately lost my mom.
Mm.
And yeah, because I really wanted to see her. I didn't see her for a very long time, it was more than 5 years. And of course, because of so many reasons, COVID, the war, and not just making the decisions on time, and that's when the song Running Out of Time, was birthed out, because I was like, yeah, we're all running out of time. And whatever thing we need to do, if you want to see your loved one, you have to see them now. If anything you want to do, you have to do it right now. And I was like, okay, I've had this dream for many years. I think it's time to finally go and try for Eurovision. And I auditioned and I got selected to the semifinals.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And I'm sorry about your mother.
Thank you.
Um, so you wrote the song yourself with some other people. So what
Yes.
was the songwriting process like?
Okay, so of course I had the initial idea, as I said before, running out of time, and I just started, writing the chorus just by myself. I think I'm running out of time. So it's the chorus. The chorus came first, and I didn't even know how to start the verse, and but I had the melody for it. So I wrote a friend of mine. We studied together in Ukraine. In fact, both the other two writers, we all studied in Ukraine together,
Hmm.
and they are like incredible writers, but different genres. One is rap, the other one does like I think pop music. And I reached out to them, but that was like last year, and of course they were busy with other stuffs. And when they got back to me, we just like had like a video call together. We're brainstorming, and yeah, we wrote the first part of it. I sent it to my producer, who is from Ukraine and who worked with Jamala for many years. And yeah, and yeah, he just added his own idea as a producer, and we had to re-edit some of the lyrics of the song just to fit the idea. And the message behind it. And yeah, I think it took probably like almost a year back and forth, with different, everyone was busy, this one was busy, but it took over a year to write the song. And I would say it's pretty satisfying because I was able to write the second verse for my mom and pass the message in general about running out of time. But the writing process was very interesting and just first time in my life actually writing a song with
Oh,
two
really?
other two other writers. Yeah, I usually write my song by myself or just one extra writer, but this was the first time I wrote a song with two other writers.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've been sort of connected to the Eurovision world for a long time.
Yes, I have. I have, yeah. I think I've done a lot of back vocals for most of the artists in Ukraine in the national selections. Um, yeah, I can't go into names, but I've done a lot of back vocal recording on stage, live on stage, backstage, on their songs. And I was privileged to go to Eurovision 2018, uh, and I was in Portugal, and it was just an amazing inspiration for me. I met Caesar, which we became friends later on, and was it last year, 2 years ago? I was supposed to be part of the Ukrainian team for Liverpool, but that was the same year I had The Voice, and I ended up winning The Voice, and I wasn't
Hmm.
able to go. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've always been part of the Eurovision. I
Yeah.
watch it, follow it, get inspired by it. Yeah, I think it's like the biggest music show or competition in Europe, if not in the world. Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah.
totally. So how did you first discover Eurovision? Because you didn't grow up in Europe. So how did you first hear about it?
It was when I was in Ukraine because for Ukraine, I think the Ukrainian culture, Eurovision is a big thing in Ukraine. It's a big thing, and you can see with the past results that Ukraine is like having like one of the most successful runs for the past 5 years or 10 years. And yeah, so the first time I heard about Eurovision was in Ukraine, and I didn't know how big it was till when I saw how so many people had to react to it and commented on it and went crazy. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah. So yeah, it was probably 2000 and I would say the year Jamala won, 2016. That was the year that I was kind of like, okay, this is interesting. Prior to that, I heard about it, but I wasn't so invested in it. But 2016 was the year that I was like, okay, Jamala was someone I worked with before she went for Eurovision. I was doing back vocals for her. So that's why I got interested because it was like, you know, wow. When I think 2 3 months that I stopped working with her, that's when she went for the Eurovision. I was like, wow, why did you stop working? Yeah. So that's when I was rooting for her, and I saw how very impactful her song was to Europe, and she's just an amazing person. So I think 2016, I would say, is that year that was like I was really into, Eurovision contest. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite Eurovision song?
Well, I would say I have a few. Um, of course, Jamala's song, maybe because I have a soft spot for Jamala. I worked with her. She's an amazing artist. And of course, a few songs that sounds like something I would do, a little bit of gospel, like Nobody Like You, Caesar Samson,
Hmm.
or Chito Tuto, the Lithuanian one had a little bit of gospel in it. Not like a little bit, a lot of gospel in it. Also, uh, I like the French one for last year, Jordan, and also like Portugal because I was there, and yeah, but he won in Ukraine. Yeah, I like Portugal. I think I like a lot of songs, but if just the few I can say now is the ones that I'll be like, yeah, Italy also, the one that won, what's their name? The band, I forgot their name.
Måneskin?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a cool song. It was a cool song. And for me, it's amazing when you see a winner go on to be very successful in your career. So that was something that, I liked a lot because most winners, the story about winning a show and it's like you just win and nobody hears about you. So I think it was a really good group and they are really successful. And yeah, so there are so many songs I can't remember now, but just the few I mentioned is just songs that, I would love to do, I would love to sing, and I would love to write. Yeah, cool songs.
Yeah. So going back to Lithuania for a minute.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like performing in the semifinal?
Oh, very good question. So, first of all, it's my first time in the Eurovision stage. I was like performing in the first semifinal. Like I didn't even have a chance to see other people's performance and like make adjustments and like, oh, that's the way it's done. Of course, you watch videos, but it's different from being part of it and seeing people you are competing with to make adjustments and like, oh, that happened there. Maybe I should, or this person used the mirror because we initially wanted to use a mirror in our performance. And I went for the rehearsal and I saw three artists with mirrors on the stage. Like you can imagine that. So for me, it was like I'm just like a baby in the Eurovision stage. So I didn't know what to do, what to expect. So one of the things I did was to speak to previous winners. I don't want to mention names, but I had to write them and talk to them and tell them, give me tips. There is a reason why you won. There's a reason why you were on the finals. What do you think I should do? How should I? And based on all the information I got, I had to create a team because you can do everything by yourself. I'm kind of the guy like I like to do everything by myself, when you want to take control everything to make sure everything is in order. But I had to create a team, the stylist, the director, this one, and that's when the team started helping me to put things together. It was a stressful week. I overworked myself. I was rehearsing. I didn't rest. I was nervous and I became sick because, of course, as a doctor, I know that one of the causes of illness is stress. So I was both physically and mentally stressed, because I'm like, we're running out of time. We don't have time. We have to prepare for the semifinals. And we had, I think, 10 days to prepare. And I had concerts in December because, of course, in Europe, December is like lots of concert, Christmas concert. So I didn't have time to rest my voice. I didn't have time to rest. I was sick. I had bacteria infection. I was on antibiotics. I later had viral infection. So my voice was tired. I was tired and I wasn't feeling good. 2 days before, I was thinking of moving my performance, but I got to know that it wasn't possible to move unless someone is willing to replace you. So I decided to just sleep and steam my face. I got a lot of medications. I was spraying, taking a lot of spray, like I don't know how to say that, but I was literally stressed. But of course, thank God for my team, my family, and we were able to pull through. I didn't expect the result that we had. I'll be honest with you, because after my performance, I was a little bit disappointed, which I think it's normal for every artist who loves their craft and who knows how much time and energy and money they put in their craft. And to not just get the best results, I felt, and knowing who I am as an artist, that Nah, that was not 100%. That was not my 100%, you know. And of course, there was a little bit trouble with the sound, and but I don't want to go into details. But yeah, but so many elements. So, but it was, as I said, my debut, baby steps, and I'm proud of myself, proud of the team that we could go on Eurovision for the first time, and we were able to like get a lot of reaction, a lot of angry people, a lot of supporting people. Yeah. So
Angry?
yeah, of course. I, you know, I'm black, first of all. I'm
Hmm.
not a Lithuanian.
Right.
And of course, Eurovision is that environment that, it's all for love, it's all for unity, it's all for how, like being liberal. That's one thing I love about Eurovision. But of course, a lot of people, don't understand that, which I understand them because I'm a football fan. I love Manchester United. I love Ronaldo. And if my team is not winning, I might end up hating the other team, but it doesn't mean the other team is not talented. It doesn't mean,
Hmm.
it actually means they are good. That's why they won my team. So it's like I kind of understand the frustration, but at the end of the day, it's all love. We should be kind, we should be loving, and I thank the people who love me, appreciate it, who voted for me because I didn't even think I have the highest public vote. I didn't think that. I didn't plan that. Everything is just like a miracle. So it was a crazy experience, but I'm thankful and I'm privileged to be where I am today.
So, as we talked about a little bit earlier, you've been involved in the Eurovision world a little before in
Yes.
Ukraine, and you were
Yeah.
also on The Voice of Lithuania a couple years ago.
Yes.
And so, how have
Yes.
those experiences prepared you for this experience?
I think that they have helped me a lot because, of course, on The Voice, you sing on a stage, a big stage in front of, thousands of people. And winning means a lot of people vote for you because on The Voice, the judges don't really have a say in the finals compared to Eurovision. So it's 100% the fans. So for me, that was what uh, I wasn't expecting to be like the top, as I said, but of course, I knew that a few people knew me from the show and a few of them would vote for me. But on the other hand, there were other artists who've been on Eurovision many years because the TV that is broadcasting The Voice is a different TV station broadcasting Eurovision. So, of course, they have different viewers. They have people who support this show and these people who, if it was the same TV, then I would be like, I'm pretty sure that the guys will remember me. But I'm seeing from their reactions that a lot of people didn't know about me, even from The Voice. But I think it was The Voice helped me to be more confident on stage, to give my 100%, no matter my condition, no matter the situation, no matter, what was going on stage, I needed to give 100%. So that's what The Voice helped me. That's how The Voice helped me, sorry. And of course, my experience with other singers in the Eurovision, I understood that Eurovision needs a kind of vibe, needs a kind of staging, needs a kind of like a little bit of craziness if you're going to go with this kind of song. So, yeah, there were a few things that helped me, with my Eurovision performance for sure.
Yeah. So, almost done here.
Okay.
So so you moved to Lithuania sort of recently, within the past
Yes.
few years. What has your favorite thing been about living in Lithuania as opposed to the other places you've lived?
Oh, that's interesting. For me, I would say that, of course, Lithuania is part of the European Union, the Schengen zone. And of course, they are more, how would I say, more, what's the right word? Liberal I would say so, because it's kind of like in the Baltic area a little bit. It's not like in the west part where there's Germany and other countries that have so many amount of black people or of different colored people. But Lithuania, it's like a very friendly country. And a country that speaks Lithuanian have a lot of people who speak English, even compared to some Western countries.
Hmm.
Like in Lithuania, if you come to, for example, Vilnius or Kaunas, everyone, especially the younger generation, speaks English. And it's not like most of the countries I've been to, is not really like that. It's not that is a problem, but of course they have their own languages. But a few people might not want to communicate with you in English. But in Lithuania, it's not like that. People they freely speak with you in English. Even if they don't speak so well, they try to speak with you. So that's one of the things I love about Lithuania. So it's for me, it's a home. They love my family. They received us from Ukraine. They voted for me. They accepted us. So I feel at home here, because it's important to feel at home wherever you are. And my heart is here. And yeah, and Lithuania is an amazing country. Yeah, it's really an amazing country.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So,
Yeah.
last question I have for you here. What would you like to say to anybody who is discovering new music for the first time through the Eurovision pre-selection?
Okay. I would like to say, number one is just, try and be open-minded, because I know that a few people listen to a kind of music or they're used to this kind of music, especially the Eurovision fans. I saw a lot of comments about this. Oh, the song is how they call it, is generic and there's no wow factor in it. And I understand because everyone expects a Eurovision song to be a kind of way, but I would tell them that I'm a kind of artist who is more focused on the message. I am very keen on the message. Of course, I can do this crazy beat and make it crazy, but for me, it wouldn't be so important if I don't pass the right message. And the message here is to encourage people. And for them listening to my Eurovision song or any song that I have, if they go listen to my song, maybe on YouTube or Spotify, they will understand that it's very important that I pass right message, positive message, message of love, try to bring light to the people. So that's all about me, pass the right message, help people who are struggling in one area to realize that they are not alone, that we are with them, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So that's all about me, positivity, love, the right message.
Yeah. All right. So, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. And best of luck in the final. I'll be really
Thank
excited
you.
to see your
Thank
performance.
you. There's gonna be a lot of changes, yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, I'm
okay.
excited too. I'm excited.